They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did it in a big way there.
2nd and 11. Cousins now. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. Off the play fake, Cousins. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the 1st quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw is Cousins. Under pressure, they got him again. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their 1st drive out defensively. And we have to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there to pick up the 1st, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage. Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing, Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back in the 25. It'll be a loss loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 2nd down, Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They run once more with Dillon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Ready.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Another catch there for Waddle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 6-0 our score after 1. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
97. Jack rep. Ready.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Dolphins in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Cousins to throw it. That'll be caught. Rager with it. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. Room here to run. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down, another run for Dillon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And some space here. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
They'll run here with Dillon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
52 blaster.
On 2nd and goal. Tua caught on the slant. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are back within a score. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 13-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss. And another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game. And the head coach said, I'll take him. I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed it. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
And going deep for Hill. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, 60 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Joseph is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Fields it right around the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try to cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime, Minks, had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Tua completing this to Waddle, and he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
First down catch there by Jaylen Waddle. What a promising debut for the 6th overall pick in the 2021 draft. Led all rookies with 104 receptions, mainly catching passes from his college teammate, Tua Tagovailoa.
Here we go.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They give to Dillon out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Now Tua. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Second and 8. They'll try the middle with Cook. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, now zapped right back in the other direction. Tua now on 1st down. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down and 3. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Tua. His way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Tua sets up to pass it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. Sanders' kick is good. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, Charles, as a defender yourself who made a few of those plays back in your day, I know you know there's no better feeling than a pick 6 for a defender.
And the big thing is when you take it and you realize you're out there and you've got a great chance to score, not to get overly excited and have one of the yard lines trip you up, or the turf monster, as we used to call it, knock you down before you get to the end zone. That didn't happen on that play. He carried it home.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The 40. Kene Nwangu. He'll take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota. And that big return sets them up for the potential to now tie this game here in the fourth.
Let's see if they want to ride the momentum of that return for a touchdown, because as you have, that's a monster play. Do you want to ride that momentum into a two-point try, or do you line up and go ahead and kick the extra point?
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the fourth. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, it's Tua. They're going deep for Hill. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. He'll take it at the 42. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They will look to flush the memory of that pick 6 as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter. Getting down to the good stuff. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Joseph connects on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tua going to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, really not much secret there. 3rd and long, Charles, and he was looking to throw the football. And I would imagine as a defender, you're kind of salivating in that spot, right?
You certainly are, because 3rd and long situations, they tip the scale towards the defense every single time. Now you're actually able to dictate and understand what the offense is trying to do. You know where the first down marker is. You set your defense that way, and maybe you can be a little more aggressive in certain situations because of that. You start focusing on your coverage assignment, and when the ball's released, you break on it and make a play, as we just saw there.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Let's go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Throw, 52. Right.
Tagovailoa. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space. Let them do what they do.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. They'll run right side with Mostert. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go. Drop. 17.
Now Tua. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
Cycle.
Here's Tua. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Harrison Smith. 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick six on the other side, and now they get a pick six of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick six from earlier in this game?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
This was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brand, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Minnesota, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.